ever remember a time in your life as a Maple Leafs fan where you felt better about the team after losing 2 in a row?
I don't know.
I don't ever remember. I feel better after those 2 losses than I did after whooping Colorado's ass.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, obviously, with them sticking up for each other and actually, like, being able to, like, throw down and, like, get involved physically.
And falling behind to a great hockey team in the
Yes.
Minnesota Wild and battling back
Yeah.
and getting a point and not just closing up shop.
And actually figuring out your power play where it's an actual threat now again.
Yes.
Finally.
Yes.
Like, nice goals. But let me stop you.
Okay.
Let me stop you, though. All right?
Okay.
You do feel better because of all that. But you can also look at it in a completely different light. Those 2 games were very physical hockey games, and they lost both of them. Like, because Minnesota, they have a beast of a hockey team.
True,
They
okay.
were laying out bodies, man.
True.
The game against the Jets were a little chippy. It was a different game, but
I'm gonna talk about the Winnipeg Jets in a few minutes, but like
the Wild game, they got out hit and they were getting hit hard. And,
but they battled back.
and Jack Campbell
And honestly though, you look at the Jets game, like, first of all, I think anyone who's a smart gambler would have put money on the Winnipeg Jets on Sunday. Second half of a back-to-back. Like, they're on this West Coast road trip. They come home for 1 game, and then they're out again for a back-to-back in Minnesota and Winnipeg. Like, Joseph Woll is a nice story, but we got to get Peter Mrazek back up here. He's just not an NHL goaltender. I'm sure he seems like a really nice kid, and he's done a really good job.
The really nice kid line.
But yeah, it's like Andy Dalton. He's a nice guy. I just like it's not Joseph Woll's not the guy.
Yeah, he got beat. Those are goals you score against goalies who are like below your level.
Yes.
Like just sniping.
Yes.
And they look like nice goals, but for a competent NHL goalie like Jack Campbell or any other dudes who are in the top of the league, like they make that save or they make it look easier. Like he was getting beat.
Exactly.
Like they didn't really have a chance at that point.
So I choose to look at it through the lens of like a positive lens. Like I think I like the fight in both games. Before I go on this rant, I just want to apologize ahead of time to our buddy, noted Winnipeg native David Bastel.
Yeah.
The Winnipeg Jets have officially shot to the top of the list as my most hated franchise in the National Hockey League. Just a greasy, like, what a lame ass loser franchise.
Yeah,
like, honestly,
I
what
know.
a loser franchise.
Literally
like,
the biggest loser
like look
franchise.
at all the losers on the ice. Like Neil Pionk running around on the ice, a deliberate attempt to injure on Rasmus Sandin.
Yeah, that was as blatant as it gets.
Then Pierre-Luc Dubois decides he's going to jump Austin Matthews from behind and like not ever give the guy a chance, like take his back basically and not ever give the guy a chance to like stand up and fight for himself.
Like, I don't understand.
Well, he's clearly just like so jealous of Matthews. He's had a beef with Matthews. This goes back to the Columbus series in the bubble and the fact that he was in the same draft as Matthews and like he just has some beef with Austin Matthews. It's very clear.
Yeah.
Okay. Dubois jumps Matthews. Richie goes out and gets in his face. Dubois hides on the bench for the rest of the game. Paul Maurice doesn't put him out for the rest of the game because it's like somebody's going to kill you.
Yeah.
Then Logan Stanley.
Oh,
is that even his name?
Yeah.
I said this franchise is so goddamn irrelevant. I can't even remember these guys' names. Logan Stanley spends 10 minutes ducking Wayne Simmonds, like running from the guy.
Yeah.
Simmonds finally gets a hold of him. He turtles and squirms away to the point that he allows the refs time to come in and save him, then gloats going off the ice. Mike Johnson on the radio today called him a pigeon. That's exactly what he is. He's a pigeon. Just off the ice. Get out of here. Then, the icing on the cake.
Was it the after the game?
Mark Scheifele confirms what we all know.
Yeah.
Every employee, every fan, every player of every other Canadian franchise is obsessed with the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Canadian National Hockey League scene revolves around the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's our world, and you're just living in it. You're all obsessed. Loser franchise. Congratulations. You beat the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
Well done. I want to take, Pierre-Luc Dubois. He hid on the bench. He hid on the bench for the rest of the game. You coward. You gutless coward. Sorry.
That was an epic rant. I don't even know what to say.
I'm fired up about this right now. And then the icing on the cake. The National Hockey League. Oh, my God. George Peros, who's apparently taken one too many shots to the head. It's already come out that Pionk's got 2 games, right? Also, CJ said on the radio earlier today that Sandin is only 2 to 3 weeks with a Charlie horse. Because you saw that yesterday.
Oh, dude, that was as blatant as it gets. In his defense that he was going for a body check. It's and then you missed it, so you're supposed to just I missed my guy, not stick your knee out.
Exactly.
That was dirty.
The officiating.
Oh, dude.
No call. Listen, I refereed minor hockey. I know that is nowhere near the same thing as being an NHL official. You umpired baseball. The point is
the worst job.
Yeah, the point is it's not even at a minor hockey, minor baseball level. It's not easy.
No.
So you can count on one hand the amount of times that you and I have come on this podcast in the 3.5 years that we've been doing it and gone at the referees.
Yeah, we're not.
We don't do it.
Guys,
we're not blame the ref guys.
Never.
We're not. The officiating in the National Hockey League is an embarrassment.
Yeah,
it's an embarrassment, and you've got the league office sending memos out to the coaches saying that if you're caught publicly criticizing the officials, you're going to get fined $25,000 or whatever it is. So it goes to show you what the league doesn't care.
I would eat $25,000 after last night.
The league doesn't care. And so Spezza goes out. They don't call the penalty on Pionk. Spezza is going berserk on the bench. Jason Spezza is the GOAT.
Yeah, he is. He really is.
No one wants to watch, no one wants to see anyone get really hurt, okay? But every Leaf fan vicariously lived through Jason Spezza when he targeted Pionk's head after that. Also, let's rewind the night previously when, what's his name? Marcus Foligno, Nick Foligno's brother, hits Jack Campbell in the head with a flying knee.
Destroyed him.
Everyone's heart stops. No call.
No call. That one was honestly worse for me. That was the most blatant, hitting of the goal. The guy didn't even get touched. And the best goalie in the league is down for the count.
Yes.
And maybe could have been down for the count for good.
Yes.
He got rocked.
Yes.
And you don't expect to get hit that hard.
I tell you what, man.
That was a joke.
I tell you what.
You know what? After this whole rant you've been on last night was weird.
It was weird.
It was a weird night. The Winnipeg Jets decided they just wanted to be
greasy.
They took advantage of a goalie who's not an NHL goalie, scored a bunch of goals, bunch of beauty snipes, and then decided to be greasy for the rest of the game.
Every Winnipeg Jet fan, if they come across this video, is gonna just
that's what we're known for.
Is just gonna just laugh at me. Plus, all the Hab fans who still watch our video are gonna just laugh at me. But
hey, Hab fans.
But I'm sorry. You should be embarrassed that video of Mark Scheifele saying nothing better than beating the Leafs is now out for public consumption, because everything everyone says about how the Leafs are the center of the hockey universe is absolutely true, and your players even proved it last night. I tell you what, it's like March 30th or whatever, the next time they play the Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah.
Pierre-Luc Dubois, Neil Pionk, and Logan Stanley better, like, you boys better be in one. Your coach, your daddy, Paul Maurice, better protect you like he did Pierre-Luc Dubois last night. He wouldn't let him back out on the ice after Richie got in his face because it's like someone's going to kill you.
Jets fans saying something to me, like, I don't care.
No, I don't care either.
I know all these Habs lovers love to come to our videos because of what we've said about them in the past in the series. But to be completely honest with you, like, Hab fans, that's the only fan base that can get, like, somewhat under our skin because it's like they're equally as legendary.
Historic franchises.
And they've won a lot more. They've had better players. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. They can have that. The Winnipeg Jets, like you said, are a loser franchise.
Yes, they are.
The Atlanta Thrashers.
Yes. You lost your team once.
And then the Jets became the Coyotes.
Yes.
So it's all losers all around.
Yes, it
it's
is.
Like, you won a round a couple years ago. You guys are supposed to have been cup contenders for the past, 10 years?
Yep.
You still have the same coach.
Yes.
Fire the guy.
Yep.
And your general manager got away on a pretty bad scandal, too.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Slimy franchise all around.
100%. And they've now officially shot to the top of the list as like the public enemy #1 for Maple Leafs and Leafs fans. It was gross.
It was gross. It wasn't like the Bruins. Like the Marchand's slimy, but when the Leafs played the Bruins in the past, it was just like, you can't beat these guys up. Like, they're just too tough. Like, that last night was slimy. It was gross.
GOAT of the century. Pionk knees Sandin. Spezza goes after him. A melee ensues. No penalties. Sheldon Keefe sends out Clifford, Richie, and Simmonds.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. Like, as Maple Leaf fans, this is something since the Kyle Dubas era began and some of the embarrassing quotes, like, sorry, Kyle, but like some of the embarrassing quotes that have come out in the years previous about how our power play is our response. Like, him openly, like, no selling, going and getting like a bigger, more physical presence for like a couple of seasons and acknowledging that, like, that's not how we want to play. It was such a breath of fresh air last night to see Kyle Clifford and Wayne Simmonds just skating around out there being like, whose head am I taking off?
Yeah.
Like, I was on the edge of my seat watching that last night.
It was very entertaining.
It was fantastic.
I know you want to take that crap out of the game, and some of it was pretty bad.
No, the crap you want to take out of the game is Neil Pionk deliberately trying to injure Rasmus Sandin.
But my point is when all that stuff transpires, though, like, obviously you don't want someone to get seriously injured, but man, does it make for
it's
investment.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it doesn't. Man, it makes for an investment into a hockey game.
I'm sitting on my couch and I'm watching Kyle Clifford fight whoever the loser was that he was fighting, and I'm just like, I'm throwing punches with him.
Like, that's what hockey is. Like, even when we played when we were younger, or anyone who played at any level of hockey, you've always been in those games where, like, it gets dirty and you just want to get out there and take someone's head off.
Yes.
There's nothing that brings together a group of dudes on a hockey team, whether they like each other or they don't, than that situation that occurred last night.
I want us to spend a little. We've briefly brushed over it, but I just want to spend just a few minutes on Jason's.
I just like going after the Jets franchise.
I just want to spend a few minutes here. Like, here it is right here. Like, now, let's talk about Spezza. We've got it in front of us here. Like, that, he goes after Pionk. Huge right there. So he's got an in-person hearing, which means he could get potentially 5 games. What do you think about that? I think
Pionk's like kind of fallen down, though.
Yeah, I don't think he should get 5 games. I think, again, my frustration with the National Hockey League is, once again, your officials let it get to that point. Should he get a suspension? Yes. You can't target a guy like that.
No, okay, I'm cool with that, but what kind of suspension are they talking about here?
He has an in-person hearing, which means
if Jason Spezza gets a 5-game suspension and having 0 previous history of any suspension or anything, that's a joke.
One thing we've learned about George Perel since he took this job over is he has no idea what he's doing.
No,
and he doesn't make any sense.
Everybody's favorite conversation on the radio is suspension talk. Someone did something. they love talking suspensions. How many times have we heard about they should punish Tom Wilson more, they should punish this guy more, and all of a sudden Jason Spezza is just going to get 5 games?
Yeah. For a guy who's been in the league 20 years.
For a guy who he didn't even make, I know he went for it, and he was kind of falling down. Like, I'm just going to go with this side. Like, he was kind of falling down. But he didn't actually, like, injure the dude.
No, I know. I think it's targeting.
I know
They'll
it's
point to it and
intent,
say it's intent to injure. Like,
why? Like, Jason Spezza 5 games?
Let's talk about Jason Spezza.
on.
Let's talk about Jason Spezza, though, just quickly. This guy is, like, what? I love him. Like, what a
Who
heart and
doesn't?
soul. Like, they go down to Minnesota the other night. He scores 2 goals and then sets up Matthews for the 3rd one.
Looks pretty good on that power play.
He looks, yeah. And then last night he's the one who 2 years ago in the bubble, they're losing game 5 to Columbus. Who goes out there and drops the gloves? Jason Spezza.
He's also scored some clutch goals in the playoffs,
yes.
too.
Who's a true leader on this team? Jason Spezza.
Yeah.
Like, he's so important. He's so important. Signs for the league minimum every year.
Yeah.
I love him.
And I get it. You can't put him on the top line, make him play 20 a night, but you don't need to.
I want to address something else with you. There was some discussion I saw last night and then again today, listening to the radio about Austin Matthews and his response to Pierre-Luc Dubois basically jumping him. And this has been 2 occasions now where last year he's getting ragdolled and egged on in the playoffs against Montreal, and he's not pushing back at all. He's like smiling at the ref and being like, "What are you going to do something about this?" And then last night he has no pushback really after like he gets jumped. Then after the game, his comments after the game were very like, well, you know, it became less of a hockey game and more of like a sideshow or something like that.
Gong
show,
yeah.
yes. Something like that. And so, like, some people were saying, hey, he's Austin Matthews. He's a superstar. You don't want him getting into a scrum and potentially getting injured. But then you have other people who are saying, no, you're a superstar in this league and you need to teach people that going out, because you're sending a message to the rest of the league that if they want to start messing with you, you're not going to push back. And you've seen Sid over the years. I heard this comparison made today where, like, you see Sid over the years. If someone messes with Sid, he'll give it back to you. So, like,
yeah, I guess.
What's your take on
what kind of response are you looking for? Like just a good old slash to the back of the leg?
Just
like,
more
the guy's
like,
not gonna drop the
get up.
mitts.
I know, but just get up and shove the guy.
I thought the one
You're a big man.
I thought the Sherrod Montreal thing was a lot worse than the Jets. Like, he got jumped by Dubois, and he was trying to like get up off it, and the guy was just mauling him on top of him. He was just like putting him in mount.
Yeah, he jumped
mount position. He's passing guard.
Yeah.
Like, what? I don't know what he was supposed to do about that. He got up, and it's like, what? That was ridiculous how that wasn't a penalty.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't doing anything.
He went to the, they both went to the
I know.
box. Yeah, I know.
Like, that's why I was kind of like, I didn't blame his reaction there because it's like, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
Like, that was a joke.
Yeah.
Like, this guy literally just attacked me because I make a lot more money than he does. I was the #1 overall pick, and regardless if he beat me in some stupid made-up playoff series, I'm still the GOAT.
Yep.
And that's why he jumped me.
I'm a way better hockey player.
I'm a way better hockey player. I'm way more relevant than this guy ever. Pierre who?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
The guy who failed in Columbus and cried and left?
Yep.
That guy?
Yep, that guy. Bum.
Yeah.
I will say, though, on the topic of superstars having a response, I urge everyone today to listen to today's episode of Real Kipper and Bourne, where just quickly, like, they're talking about like superstars should have a response, and Kyprios tells this quick story about back in the day when he was with the Rangers and they're playing Dallas. And Dallas is running around a little bit, and so him and all the tough guys are on the bench, like planning who they're gonna like go out and go after. And then Messier walks over and he goes, "No, we need to go after one of their big guys." So Messier goes out and flattens Modano, and Tim Modano goes out in a stretcher, and it's like that.
Let's go.
Like Austin Matthews is never gonna do something like that.
Well, he's not Mark Messier.
But
it's
like
a different era.
But
too.
yeah, but like that, I don't know. I would, for me, it's kind of like my answer lies somewhere in the middle. I would like to see a little bit more pushback because I do agree that I think you're sending Austin Matthews. No, I do not want you dropping the gloves and potentially breaking your hand or something like
Kyle
that.
Clifford just wailing on Brendan Dillon's helmet.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
Ouch.
They showed that clip of him in the box. His hands were like shaking.
Yeah,
And it's because you were just clapping some guy's helmet.
Yeah, I know.
Go punch your hockey helmet as hard as you can. Literally just go in your garage, find your hockey helmet, and wind up. It feels like crap. Like, we also, before we go, we forgot to mention no Marner.
No Marner. So Jake Muzzin and Marner had a bit of a collision at practice, and I don't know officially what the deal is with Mitch Marner.
I meant more about the effect that the team had without him. I thought it made a big difference.
Yeah, it did make a big difference.
He's their best playmaker.
Yep.
By a mile.
Yep.
I know he can disappear sometimes, but the dude's always making plays, and the penalty kill sure missed them as well.
100%.
Because now there's penalty kills all of a sudden in the middle of the pack in the NHL after one weekend.
Yep. I thought Matthews missed him quite a bit as well.
Because Bunting's doing a great job. By the way, Michael Bunting.
Yeah, I know. Love him.
Yeah.
Love him.
Zach who?
And you know the best part about Michael Bunting? Listen, I'm a huge believer that like if you and I are by no means Kyle Dubas haters, but we've thrown criticism his way. So if you're gonna criticize the guy, you need to be able to like give him some credit. To get Michael Bunting for 2 years at $900,000 is pretty damn good work.
David Camp for 2 years too.
I know, like that's pretty damn good work.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's just think back to before this season started and everything that we said heading into this season, our expectations and everything, and then now we're in December and we're riled up and we think they're good, and it's amazing how time and a new season can just reinvigorate you.
There's some things that I think like are starting to pop up that I know Sheldon Keefe is aware of because he was on the radio on Friday and he said as much. Jack Campbell is playing way too much hockey, and Joseph Woll is not good enough, and neither is Michael Hutchinson. So this guy Peter Mrazek,
Campbell, put on a clinic in Minnesota.
I know.
Oh, he looked like Dom Hass.
I know. He's unbelievable.
Vezina years.
He's unbelievable. That was
arguably. I know he led in 3 previously, and whether it was his fault or not, but I think that was arguably one of the most impressive goaltending performances I've seen from a Toronto Maple Leaf in a very long time.
Since Curtis Joseph, probably.
That was phenomenal.
Yep. I don't disagree. But they need to get this guy Peter Mrazek back, and he needs to get in and start. We need to get back to the original plan, which is 1 and 1A. Yeah. And Campbell is not playing.
You also need to
as much as he's
need to get back to defending a little bit better.
Yes.
That's one thing I will say about this weekend, regardless of what happened. There was a lot more 2-on-1s than there has been over the past 17 games.
Yeah.
So they got to clean that up too.
Before we get out of here, let's talk a little bit. Let's just go around the league. Just get your take on the Vancouver Canucks. The Vancouver Canucks just saying goodbye to Jimmy Benning and Travis Green. And bringing in Bruce Boudreau.
Jimmy Benning it's hard not to just poke a little fun at him, but I actually feel bad for them because their top players suck.
Yeah.
And they all just got fired because their top players suck and they can't score. They can't kill a penalty to save their life. I actually feel bad for the Vancouver fan base and those guys because how are they supposed to predict that all the guys who are supposed to lead their team and produce all these points and lead the team to victories are all just garbage all of a sudden? They're all garbage.
Well,
they can't score.
Yeah.
They don't look the same.
Yeah.
Pedersen's doing his best Nylander impression. Late contract signing. I'm going to mail in the rest of the year.
Yeah. It's
I feel bad. I feel bad for the Canucks fan base, to be honest with you. That's tough because it looked like they were turning a corner. They've done all the right things, and now it's just back to square one. There might not even be that far away.
Well,
they could
clearly
just be playing awful.
Clearly, the ownership in Vancouver thinks that because they're bringing in Bruce Bruce Boudreau. And they hired, presumably, like they don't have a GM now. So presumably it was ownership that went and hired Bruce Boudreau. And he only got a 2-year deal.
Well, I think that's what on the Kipper show today, they said that that's why they took Boudreau, because he was willing to take a 2-year deal, and a guy like Claude Julien or Rick Tocchet wouldn't do that. So he was like, Boudreau's just itching to get back behind the bench, so he doesn't really care what opportunity is. It's found money for him. He goes around, turns that around. Here's a 4-year deal. See you later.
Speaking of Rick Tocchet, linked to the now vacant coaching position no, it's not necessarily vacant. They've made Mike Yeo the interim head coach. Mike Yeo, the interim head coach in Philly.
Worst angry speech in practice history.
Alain Vigneault was there for a year and a half.
That guy's done.
Yeah, that guy is done. That guy had a good...
Been around the block.
Actually, not true. I could see Alain Vigneault popping up behind the Habs bench
again.
I think, but dude, they recycled Claude Julien. If you're a French speaking head coach, you always, whether you've been there or not, you always have a chance with the Montreal Canadiens.
The Flyers are another sad franchise too.
Yeah,
just stuck in the middle.
Yeah,
can't get to the bottom, can't get to the top. Just actually, I screw the Philadelphia Flyers. I don't care about them.
Well, the two candidates that I saw today named were Tocchet and Tortorella.
Oh, no,
Tortorella. But don't you feel like Torts and the Flyers
come in, have one good year and then just owe a guy money?
Yeah.
After the next year, hire Tortorella. That's a anyways.
Pretty interesting week for the Leafs. Before we get out of here, the Columbus Blue Jackets, followed by the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Tampa Bay Lightning are on it.
Yes.
The Leafs are going to be in third place very soon.
Yeah. Followed by the Tampa. So home for 3 straight against the Blue Jackets, the Lightning, and the Blackhawks, and then out west to do Oilers, Flames, Canucks, and Kraken.
Talk about a Oilers Leafs spicy showdown.
I know. I'm looking forward to that. The 9 p.m.
The Oilers got bumped down a slot after the Jets just shot right to the top.
Oh, yeah. Well, dude, every other team in the league.
I can't wait till they go on that Canadian trip. It's not now the Kraken's there, so it's not all Canadian. And I can't wait till we get on here and piss off every single Canadian fan base.
I know.
There is.
They're upset. Like Mark Scheifele, you guys want to be mad at somebody? Get mad at Mark Scheifele. He confirmed what we Leaf fans all know.
Yeah.
You're obsessed with us.
Yeah.
You're obsessed with them.
And if we're such losers and we suck and we're a joke, then like why does it matter that much?
You care more about the Toronto Maple Leafs than we do.
Isn't it amazing how a team that's just had 0 success is just still like the most? They're like the Yankees without the titles.
They're the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah,
like the Dallas Cowboys. You either love the Dallas Cowboys or you hate them.
Yeah,
they're the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know if that's the best comparison.
I can't wait till all the Winnipeg Jet fans hop on our YouTube and just write all these comments.
Well, we just see it today.
Losers.
We see it today on Twitter. Leaf fans need to calm down. It's like, no. Your franchise is greasy.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of little greasy.
You guys are losers too.
Yes. So get out of here.
Shut up.
Anyways, I can't think of a better way to end this episode.
Happy Neil Pionk Day.
Happy Neil Pionk Day. Well, we're waiting to see what happens with Jason Spezza. I was hoping we'd have some news on that, but apparently the hearing is Tuesday.
Go to New York and drop the gloves with Peros.
Well, George Peros was one of George Peros' last moments as an NHL hockey player was on the receiving end of Colton Orr.
Yeah, that's sad. I
shouldn't. But there's no consistency.
No, it's garbage.
Yeah,
crap.
Yes, it is. Anyways, that's going to do it for this week, everybody. Thanks so much for checking us out. If you like what you see, head to our Instagram @Talkin' Buds Podcast. Spread the word. Tell your friends. We really appreciate it. We'll see you next week.